Hello, welcome to our first instructional video, I should say, of the school year. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to show you a few steps how to get to your assignment, just in case you don't remember how to. You might have already gotten to the assignment by this point if you're watching my video. Obviously, I'm going to assume that you are able to find this page right here because that's where the video is linked. We're going to do Math 1, that's M1, Math 1 Skills Review. So we'll click on the link. Okay, scroll down a little bit. We've got our objectives for the lesson. I've got my little meme going there for you, something to look at. Right here, this link, Skills Review, we're going to click on it real quick. And our assignment pops up for us. You are more than welcome to do your work right on Canvas and submit it right from Canvas. I personally don't like writing on Canvas. I like to write in Notability. So to do that, I'll walk you through the couple steps. You're going to hit this send, share, box with an arrow button up at the top. Make sure that you have Notability installed on your iPad already, otherwise this isn't going to work. You should see Notability if you scroll through here. If not, click the More button and you can add in Notability, okay? We're going to create new note. Save it however you want to organize your Notability. You can make some folders, you can make some subjects. I have mine already set up. If you don't know how to set it up, and you want some help, just send me a quick email and I'll make another video of how to set up Notability. Okay, right at the top, we're going to hit import and file was sent to Notability. There we go. We got my full document here. Looks just like it did on Canvas, except I've got a little bit more options, things to do on Notability. I like it a lot more. Let's go through just a couple problems. Okay, we're working on this assignment today and tomorrow, and these are just skills review, things that you should have already learned. Maybe you forgot over the summer. Let's clear some of those cobwebs out of our brains. Go through this. Like I said, I'll go through just a couple examples from each little section to refresh your memory. I'm not going to go through all of them. Answer key is also posted if you still are totally clueless and have no idea what you're doing. Look at my answer key, okay? It's posted for you to look at. It's posted for you to check your answers. All right, let's dive right in. So, simplifying and combining like terms. We want to combine the like terms. Like terms must have the same variable and the same exponent. Okay, so if we're looking here, 3x squared and 3x are not like terms, even though they both do have a 3. They both have an x. This one right here has 2 x's. X squared is x times x. And this is simply an x. Okay, we can add the 3 in front if we need to. Not the same thing, okay? We're talking about apples and oranges here. Can't combine apples and oranges into the same bag when you're at the grocery store. All right, so follow your order of operations, distribute, then add or subtract. Use the sign in front of your term. All right, so if you need to, if you are really struggling with this, go ahead, highlight the like terms. So we got 3, we have a -9. Those are like terms. They have no variables attached to them. And then my variable a, we've got a -5a, we have a 7a, and we have an 8a. Okay, I'm going to combine the things that I highlighted together. So we've got, if you want to write the extra step, combining them, putting them close together, we've got 3 minus 9 minus 5a plus 7a plus 8a. So we've got 3 minus 9, that's -6. -5a plus 7a plus 8a is a plus 10a. And that is my final answer. We've got -6a, cannot be combined with 10a. They don't have the same variable. All right, let's go on to number 2, simplify. We've got some distributing to do. We've got this -5 We've got this negative 5 that we're going to distribute to this 3x and to this negative 2. So I'll rewrite everything and distribute. At 3x minus, because that's my sign, negative 5 times 3x is negative 15x. So minus 15x. And then we've got negative 5 times negative 2. So we got plus 10. Negative times negative is a positive. And then plus 8. So if you need to like terms, there we go. And then we can combine them. If you don't want to highlight, you don't have to. I'm just helping you out. Negative 12x. So 3x minus 15x is negative 12x. And then 10 plus 8 is a plus 18. And that is our final answer. All right. Number 3, similar to number 1. 4 is similar to 2. 5 is similar. Let's find a good one. Oh, let's go to number 7 here. Okay, again, if you need help on 3, 4, 5, or 6, check out the answer key. Okay, this one, we have a positive 5x that we will distribute to the x and to the y. Okay, so we've got 4y plus 5x times x. X times x we can write as x squared. Okay, and then 5x times y is plus 5xy. X times y. I can't combine any of these terms. They have nothing in common. So I'm just going to leave. That's my answer. Nothing further to do. All right. Let's see. Number 8. You can do 9. Easy. 10. Let's look at 10. Okay. Because this one trips students up sometimes. They don't know what to do. We've got 5xy plus 3yx. Are these like terms? That is the big question that we need to ask ourselves. Well, what does 5xy, what is that telling us? What does that mean? It's really 5 times x times y. That's what that stands for. Plus 3 times y times x. We just don't write those multiplication signs when we write 5xy. Those multiplication signs are implied, and sometimes students don't realize that it's implied. So now that we have our multiplication signs written in, I'm going to take a step to the side here. Is 2 times 3 the same as 3 times 2? Does order matter when we're multiplying? Does it matter if I go 5xy plus 3yx? Does that make a difference? Well, let's see. Okay, so 2 times 3, that's 6. 3 times 2, also 6. So if you remember back, I don't know when you might have learned this, middle school probably. When you learned the rules of multiplication, you should have learned that order does not matter. It doesn't matter if you go x times y or y times x. You'll get the same answer in the end. So these are like terms, 5xy plus 3xy. Order doesn't matter, so I've just flipped around the y and the x. Now I can clearly see, like terms. 8xy is my final answer. Okay. And then the last one I'm going to do with you is number 11, because that one is also one that trips up students. So we've got 5 minus, and then in parentheses, x plus 3 plus 9x. I know that I have to distribute because I have those parentheses. I don't want parentheses. So I know I have to distribute, but how do I distribute a negative? Well, there's this implied 1. Just like there's an implied x if I had x plus 2x. How do I add those together? What number is right here? Well, it's a 1. So 1x plus 2x is 3x. So an implied 1 is in front of the x over here, in front of the parentheses, I should say. So I'm going to take that -1 and I will distribute to the x and to the 3. So I have 8 minus 1x, because -1 times x is -1x. -1 times 3 is -3 plus 9x. And now I can combine like terms like I've been doing this whole section. Okay, got the 8, got the -3. If you want to write them so that the like terms are together, you can. I'm going to skip that step, and I'm going to have 5 plus 8x. And that is my final answer. Okay, 12 you can do on your own. Okay, check the answer key if you need further help on that. All right, let's go down to solving. So step 1, simplify each side of the equation. Step 2, start solving. Move variables to one side. Step 3, move numbers to the side opposite the variables. Okay, so let me walk you through that. Sometimes students find it pretty helpful if they're struggling with solving to draw this line and the equal sign up and down, okay? Because then I know I want to get all my x's to the left of the line and all of my numbers to the right of the line. So I've got this 10x. It's on the left-hand side. That's good. That's what I want. Then I've got plus 20. 20 is just a number. I want to move it to the right-hand side. How do I move it to the right-hand side? Well, I need to do the opposite of what I have already. So I have a plus 20. I'm going to do minus 20 to both sides. Okay, that will cancel that out. Positive 20 minus 20 is 0. Cancels out. Whew. What am I left with? 10x equals 180 minus 20 is 160. Right now I have 10x. Well, what's the opposite of 10x? This is 10 times x. What's the opposite of multiplication? It's division. So I'm going to divide 10 on both sides. 10 divided by 10 is 1. That's what I want. I cancel out. I'm left with x equals 160 divided by 10 is 16. And that is my answer. If you don't trust your math skills and you're not sure if that's the correct answer, you can always take your answer and plug it in for x and see if the equation is true. So for this, I'd go x equals 16. I plug in 16 for 10. 16 for x. I got 10 times 16 plus 20 equals 180. Does that make a true statement? 10 times 16 is 160 plus 20 equals 180. 160 plus 20 is 180 equals 180. We are good. That makes a true statement. 180 is equal to 180. Okay? You don't have to do that. Sometimes it's better safe than sorry to just quickly check your work. It took us a couple seconds to do. Let's jump to number 17. This one looks pretty scary. I got a lot of things going on here. Okay, I'm going to highlight so that I can kind of see. Actually, I'm going to draw my line first. That'll be my first step. Draw that line. Highlight the things that are the same on each side of the line. So I got the 4x and the x. I've got 3 and 11. And I also have a negative 2x and a 9x. Why did I highlight the x's on the left-hand side a different color than the x's on the right-hand side? I cannot combine them yet because they're on opposite sides of the line. Okay, I have to combine them on their side. So I got to combine the greens first, combine the purples, and then I can move it to the other side. Okay, 4x plus x is 5x minus 2 equals 3 plus 11 is 14. Negative 2x plus 9 is 7x. Okay, now that I have everything combined, I'm going to start moving things to the proper side. So it doesn't matter what you start with. You can either move the x's first or you can move the numbers first. I think I'm going to move the numbers first. And I want the numbers on the right-hand side. So I got negative 2x. We'll do the opposite. We'll add 2 to both sides. I'm left with 5x. Negative 2 plus 2 cancels out. So equals 14 plus 2 is 16 plus 7x. Okay, all the numbers on the right-hand side. I'm going to move the x's to the left-hand side. So I'll go minus 7x, minus 7x, and I'm left with 5x minus 7x is a negative 2x equals 16. That cancels out. All right. Now I got negative 2x equals 16. And divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. X equals negative 8. All right, all done. Again, if you want to check your work, if you're unsure, that was a lot of steps, a lot of room for error. Plug that negative 8 in for all the x's that you see and see if your answer is correct or not. Okay. 18, you should be fine with. Number 19, we are going to cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply the 2 and the 9, and I'm going to multiply the a and the 4. Okay, so I got a times 4 is 4a equals 2 times 9, which is 18. Okay, I got 4a equals 18. We're going to divide by 4 to both sides. I'm left with a equals 18 over 4. Fractions are totally fine. What's not fine is not simplifying. Okay, I've got an 18 over 4. Both of those are even numbers. I know I can for sure divide by 2 to the top and to the bottom. And that will leave me with a equaling 9 halves. If you want to write it as a decimal, that's totally fine. A would be 4.5. Okay, or you can leave it as a fraction. Either one, totally acceptable unless the directions tell you otherwise. All right. Same thing for 20. A little bit of a challenge. I think you guys can do it. If you're struggling, go ahead and take a look at that answer key for some help. All right, and then the last one is evaluating. We're going to substitute or plug in the appropriate value or values, then simplify or solve. So evaluate 3x plus 2y when x equals negative 4 and y equals negative 9. So I'm going to take that 4, x equals 4. I'm going to plug it in for x. Y equals negative 9. I'm going to plug that in for y. So I got 3 times 4 plus 2 times negative 9. I plugged in the appropriate values for my variable. Okay, and then now I just simplify. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times negative 9 is negative 18. Simplify to negative 6. All right, let's take a look what else we have. Let's do 22. Determine the value of 5m squared minus 8m when m equals negative 2. M is negative 2. I'm going to plug it right in for these m's right here. Okay, 5. I'm going to use parentheses. Negative 2 squared. Don't forget your squared. Minus 8 times negative 2. And now I can just simplify. So we have to do exponents first. So I got to do this negative 2 squared. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes that I run across when students are doing this. You have to do that exponent first. So we got 5 times negative 2 squared. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Minus 8 times negative 2 makes a positive 16. 5 times 4 is 20, plus that 16. And it looks like I get 36 for my answer. 23, nothing hard there. 24, nothing hard there. Let's do number 25. This one looks a little bit different. Find f of negative 7, given that f of x equals 3x plus 5. We'll see these f of x's a lot in Math 1. I'm not sure if you've seen them in the middle school. If we were in class together, this would be the time where I would go, who has seen f of x before? And then a couple of you would raise your hand. A couple of you would pretend maybe you've never seen it before. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. So if you've got any big questions about this f of x, just send me a quick email. I'll try to help you out as best I can. But f of negative 7, we're saying this negative 7 is the same thing as x. X equals negative 7. They're in the same spot here. Okay, so I'm going to plug that negative 7 right in for x. So f of negative 7 equals 3 times negative 7 plus 5. This f of negative 7, don't do anything with it. F is not a variable. F is not an x. It's just a name. We're naming this equation, okay? So don't do anything with it. A lot of students are so tempted to try and solve something there. No, don't touch it. Just leave it. F of negative 7 equals 3 times negative 7 is negative 21 plus 5. F of negative 7 equals negative 16. That's it. You're done. Don't divide by negative 7. Don't. It is wrong. This is your answer. F of negative 7 equals negative 16. If you're really, really confused about this, that's okay. We're going to go a little bit more into detail in one of our future lessons. I would just want to see who understands this, who doesn't, who's maybe seen it before, who hasn't seen it before. This problem's not too big of a deal, okay? If you're still confused. Let's do 26. Pretty similar to the last one because we have this f of x. Okay, this time we need to find x given that f of x equals negative 7. F of x equals negative 7. That means this whole thing right here is negative 7. Just like when we say x is 6, y is 7, z is 9, okay? We're plugging it in. We're substituting. So we got negative 7 equals 3x plus 5. And now we're just going to solve for x. So I'll subtract 5 to both sides and get negative 12 equals 3x. Divide by 3, divide by 3. X equals 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Negative 4. Negative 7 minus 5 is a negative 12. Negative 12 divided by 3, negative 4. All right. Whew, I knew something was looking wrong there. All right. The only thing I really want everybody to know, walking away from this little review, is that these problems are totally different. 25 and 26 are different. They are not the same question, okay? Go ahead, try number 27, try number 28. Try to do it without the answer key for help. Go ahead, just give it your best effort. Try your best. As soon as you get stuck, then you go check the answer key. Don't just copy the answer key. And then 29, nothing challenging there, okay? If you've got any questions on this or how to do something, send me a quick email. I'm actually going to walk you through how to turn this in from Notability so that you get the points for doing this. Okay, so we're going to go back up to that. I don't even know what this button's called. The send, the share. I'm not sure. Okay, so we're going to hit that. Send to. We've got email, Dropbox, Google Drive, OneNote. You got a bunch of stuff there. Okay, that's not anything I want. I want to send it to Canvas. That's where I need to send this to. Canvas isn't shown. So I'm going to go to Other Apps. Okay. Format is PDF. You should never have to change any of this stuff here. You're going to click Share Note at the bottom. And then we're going to look for the Canvas app. If you don't see it because you haven't done it before, scroll all the way over to More until you find Canvas. Okay? Then we're going to hit Canvas. It's going to pop up with our class. I know that this class, the course that I'm showing you right now, is different than how it's going to look on your end, because this isn't in your specific class right now. It's in my class because I'm the teacher. But it should say math on it. It should be our class. And then the assignment should already have math skills review. You normally don't need to change these. You might change it once the entire year. Just make sure that you're sending it to math and not your English class, okay? And then as soon as these two are correct, you hit submit. I can't submit because I'm the teacher. It doesn't allow me to submit properly. So that is where I leave you. I will look this over. If I notice any huge mistakes, any huge errors, I will give you some feedback on it. Otherwise, when I grade it, I will give you your score. If you get a 3 or a 4, you get to move on to the next lesson. Okay? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.